Next, I really want to call Mr. John Ague. He's a human rights activist and very, very active member of Amnesty International. He has already published a statement about the attack in Sri Lanka, and he is going to say something very valuable message for us.
Thank you very much. Very, very good to be here. I'm pleased to identify with you, assuming you all are concerned like I am too, from Amnesty International, with the human rights of humans, everybody in Sri Lanka. I like this particular sign just to the left over here saying Muslims are humans too. We're talking about everybody, every human in Sri Lanka. And it's so unfortunate, I think, from a human rights perspective, that after so many years of obvious conflict between the majority of the Sinhalese against the Tamil Tigers in particular, and all the hardship, all the people who died, unfortunately, that this kind of conflict should emerge so quickly, focused against a particular other minority. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't realize I was not speaking right into it. And so Amnesty really laments this and wants to emphasize that it's really important to consider everybody's human rights. One of the things that I've noticed in the English language papers of Sri Lanka, I read the Tamil, the Daily News, and the Daily Mirror on the internet, because I'm afraid I don't speak Sinhalese or Tamil. But one of the things that's been emphasized is everybody's human rights, and in particular, the Sri Lankan Human Rights Commission noticed that this year, 2018, is in fact the 70th year of the adoption around the world and at the United Nations by nations around the world of the Universal Declaration on Human Rights. And that is recognizing every human's human rights around the country. And so it's particularly ironic that in Sri Lanka, that should know better, for goodness sake, after so many years of conflict between the Sinhalese and the Tamils, that another group should be picked on. And it's an awkward thing, as Raymond said, information here in Canada is not absolutely clear. I'm not even sure if it's clear in Sri Lanka either, because certainly for my reading the newspapers, I see that the BBS is identified in particular as a group of chauvinist Buddhists who assert their right to have the island as a Buddhist island and not considering all the people with other religions, whether it be Hindu or Muslim or Christian or whatever. The point is surely to recognize everybody's human rights on the whole island. So it's really crucial, I think, that the government wake up and remember what they've already promised about reconciliation because of the conflict that had happened for so long. And also, I think in a same sense, to avoid any other conflict that will happen now, whether against Muslims or against other people within Sri Lanka. Surely to God, it is time to consider everybody's human rights. I'll just close by noticing an interesting fact for Amnesty International, the group that I've been volunteering with, fighting for people's human rights, and been in Sri Lanka for that very reason too. Amnesty, earlier, just a few months ago actually, opened an office in Sri Lanka to organize its own human rights activity in South Asia, and in Colombo. And so there's an Amnesty International office in Colombo. So I'm really curious what's going on there. I, as a member of Amnesty, and an active one too, don't really have a clear idea, about what positive differences will arise from having an amnesty office, particularly in Sri Lanka, and when there are difficulties in Sri Lanka that we encounter still. So I am hoping to go to Sri Lanka in May, actually. So in another 6 weeks or so, I hope to be in Sri Lanka for a couple of weeks and speak to people in the Amnesty Office and learn what's going on. So I'll be pleased to bring back information here to you all as a community or in different groups that you're associated with, and also make the Amnesty staff in the office in Colombo aware that there's a large Sri Lanka community here, for goodness sake, in Canada and in some other countries in the world. And I would hope that they'd be aware of that and therefore talking to the communities in the different countries where they're really active, as well as amnesty offices too, so that we all hopefully will cooperate and remove any human rights discrimination and even worse, violence against groups in Sri Lanka or elsewhere. So thank you. It's great to be here with you. I hope to work with you all so that we together, and with the help of Raymond and Gary Anandasangaree, with the Canadian government too, offering whatever help it can in Sri Lanka. Thank you.